It's only the beginning, and there's plenty more to come. Huge thanks to our incredible fans for showing up and supporting the team. We see you, and we appreciate you. Game 1 is officially in the books for the Indiana Fever, and what a ride it was. This game really felt like two very different halves. Early on, the offense just wasn't clicking. The team looked a bit out of sync, like they were still getting used to playing together. The ball didn't move well, the plays felt off, and they missed a lot of easy shots that left fans frustrated. On the defensive side, though, there were clear signs of progress from last season. Sure, there were a few missed assignments and open shots allowed, but overall, it was the defense that kept them in the game while the offense tried to settle in. Big credit to Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell for keeping the energy up when things got shaky. And Lexi Hull came off the bench with the exact spark they needed. Huge impact. But one thing they really need to fix, something that might bring back some bad memories for fans, is the missed layups. Nearly everyone had trouble finishing at the rim, especially in the first half. Aaliyah Boston deserves a mention here. She still had a good overall game, no question. But just think how dominant she could be if she finished more of those close-range shots. These were high-percentage looks right under the basket, and too many just didn't go in. And another thing, Nalissa Smith seemed a little too quiet early on. At one point, I noticed Victoria Vivian's leading the team in shot attempts, and honestly, that's not the offensive flow you want. Sometimes Smith gets the ball in that mid-post area and gets stuck with it, doesn't always look around for options. Now, the second half? Totally different story. That's when this Fever squad started to show what they're capable of. The pace picked up, ball movement improved, and spacing looked much better. Caitlin Clark's passing was just unreal, like highlight reel stuff. She was dropping dimes all over the court. If even half of the layups she set up had gone in, she could have easily had 15 to 20 assists in her first game. That's how sharp her vision was. Think about this. Caitlin Clark picked up 2 fouls in the first quarter, which was frustrating. And early on, the defense had some lapses. Camila Cardoso beat everyone down the court right after the opening. Tip and later Angel Reese did the same. Those are the kinds of mistakes that need to be fixed, but to their credit, the Fever cleaned it up after halftime. Now check out the final box score. It's kind of wild. Indiana shot 50% from the field, which is excellent, but they still left a lot of points on the table. Meanwhile, Chicago really struggled. They shot under 30% from the floor and only hit 6 of 27 from beyond the arc. That's lockdown defense, plain and simple. Angel Reese grabbed 17 rebounds, but she had a rough night otherwise. 5 turnovers, no steals or blocks, and she looked frustrated. Ariel Atkins had 11 points, but ended the game with a 20-plus minus. Bottom line, Indiana's defense smothered the Sky. The final score was 93-58, a blowout. But don't be fooled. This wasn't a dominant performance from start to finish. It was that second half where the Fever really took control, outscoring Chicago 48-26. That's the kind of performance fans hope becomes the standard. Sure, there were some early jitters and a few flashbacks to last season's issues. But if that second half team is who they really are, watch out. There's plenty of reason to feel good about this team. The defense looks legit. The chemistry will come with time, and Caitlin Clark is already passing like a seasoned pro. If you watch the game, you know exactly what I mean, especially early on. It was rough. The Fever looked out of rhythm, the offense was disjointed, passes were off, spacing was weird. It felt like a group still learning how to play together. Because honestly, that's exactly what they are right now. And yet, they still won by 35 points. Final score, 93-58. Say what you will about how the Chicago Sky might evolve this season. They're a professional team with serious talent, and Indiana just steamrolled them. That matters. Here's what's scary for the rest of the league. This wasn't even Indiana's best, not by a long shot. They missed too many layups, had some miscommunication on defense, and looked clunky on offense at times. But the potential? It's clear. If they clean up even a few of those things, they're going to be dangerous. Now let's take a moment to recognize a major milestone from this game, DeWanna Bonner. She didn't have her sharpest outing, wasn't bad, just didn't stand out. One of those games where you're on the floor, but not fully in the mix. Still, late in the game, she made history. Bonner officially moved into third place on the WNBA's all-time scoring list. That's a huge accomplishment and deserves real recognition. It may have taken a little longer than some expected, but DeWanna Bonner hit that career milestone in a Fever jersey in front of a sold-out home crowd, and they gave her a long, emotional standing ovation. That's a moment she'll never forget. A core memory, not just for her, but for the entire franchise. So yes, this game had its messy stretches. It wasn't perfect by any means. But it showed flashes of just how dangerous this Indiana team can be once things really start to click. And it gave us a moment of history we won't soon forget. And of course, the other big headline? Caitlin Clark did it again. Another triple-double. What's wild is that for most of the game, it didn't look like it was coming. She couldn't quite get into a rhythm. The offense didn't flow through her like usual. It didn't seem like many plays were being called for her, and the pace was slower than expected. Even in transition, the wings weren't filling lanes the way they typically do. And you could tell, when she had small windows, she started pressing a bit, trying to make something happen. That's what competitors do. They push. Then suddenly, something shifted. She found her groove. The game opened up. And just like that, Caitlin Clark walked off the floor with her third career triple-double. Unreal. She even checked back in late in the game, and credit to Coach Stephanie White for recognizing the moment and letting it happen. Unlike those missed opportunities, under Christie's sides in the past. And let's be real, if Caitlin Clark hadn't gotten that triple-double, fans would have gone nuts. But there were two solid reasons she went back in. First, she was clearly trying to help DeWanna Bonner get that career milestone. Third all-time on the WNBA scoring list. Second, she was just one rebound shy of a triple-double. She got it. Final stat line, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Clean shooting too, 6 of 13 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3, and a perfect 4 for 4 from the line. Toss in 2 steals, and 4 blocks. That's right, Clark tied for the team lead in blocks with Aaliyah Boston, who also had 5. 4 blocks from Caitlin Clark. Let that sink in. And speaking of Aaliyah Boston, we've got to talk about her. She started off a little off balance. Missed an early pass from Clark, bobbled a few easy looks near the rim, just looked like she had the early game nerves. But once she settled in, she was locked in. By the end of the game, 19 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 blocks. That's a huge performance. Now, about those blocks, Boston isn't the most explosive athlete out there. She's not skying over defenders, but her timing, her positioning, her feel for the game, that's elite. That's basketball IQ at its finest. Honestly, at halftime, I was thinking, okay, this is a C+ performance, maybe a B if I'm generous. I was ready to get out the red pen and start circling mistakes. But by the end, it felt like we were watching a completely different team. And that second half version, they might be one of the most dangerous teams in the league. It felt like every possession ended in something positive. Every trip down the floor had purpose.